Hey, it's Chris Loud with another 15-minute warm-up video. I'm doing something a little different today. This video is not quite as abstract as ones I've been doing, and you can tell, I think, right now that I've got some pairs going. What I'm going to be doing is a black and white painting and then doing a wash with some transparent colors. I also have this striped tissue paper that I found in a box a couple months ago and thought I would do a little mixed media and get some of that on there for the table that the pears are sitting on. So if you haven't done mixed media, I don't do a whole lot of it, but again, 15 minutes of playing, so kind of do whatever you want. But just kind of figuring out, tearing some pieces and figuring out the sizes here and gluing some of the tissue paper down. The other thing I'm doing on this one that's a little different is I'm not using a paintbrush other than getting the glue down and for the final wash. So I'm using black and white, I think Mars black and titanium white in here, very little of the titanium white. Just getting some darks down and kind of getting the shapes on there. And then I'm going to use some lemon yellow that's transparent. I also have some phthalo green that's transparent. And get those nice and wet and do a wash of color over the whole thing. And I've done this a few times before with some success, and I think this one turned out pretty well. This one of the first paintings I've done in a while where after the 15 minutes is up, I didn't want to keep tinkering. I thought it was where it needed to be. So right now I'm just using a tool, one of the Catalyst wedges from Princeton, and you'll also see me using one of those silicone paintbrushes, kind of more of a squeegee on a stick, or squeegee with a handle. But very useful tools. I've used them many times in other pieces. But I just thought I'll just try something different and use different tools to paint with today. And getting some white on there, kind of spreading that around for some highlighted areas. And put my shadows down as well to try and anchor those pears to the table. One thing that's very difficult about doing this kind of style with a 15-minute time limit is once you do the wash, you want your paint to be dry or it's going to kind of smear that black paint, that white paint. So I had to get a hairdryer hooked up and spent a little time while I was mixing paint holding a hairdryer, aiming it at the painting, trying to dry it as I was doing other things. I clipped the parts out where I was using the hairdryer. I thought you might get a little bored watching me blow dry a painting, so I think there is probably a little clip in there where I'm mixing paint to the right and holding a blow dryer. I did find that it's very difficult to do both of those. That right here I think is where I'm doing that. But I would mix paint and look up, and I was aiming the hairdryer away from the painting. So talk about not thinking when you're doing these exercises. When you're doing two tasks, it's much more difficult. But here's where I'm putting the lemon yellow on, and you just get it nice and wet and just start painting. I use the phthalo green for the actual pears. But for the background and the table, I went ahead and got some of that on. Used a little bit thicker paint on the table itself just to give a little bit of variation with that. And I started out with a charcoal pencil to kind of sketch out the pears, and just a real brief sketch. You'll see with the wet green, phthalo green paint that I put on the pears that it really picks up the light. So it's a lot of reflection in there. So I'll show you the final painting after this so you can see what it looks like with a little better lighting and less glare. So let me know what you think, and if you've done this before, or if you do it, let me know in the comments how that went for you. But here's the final painting. I think it turned out pretty well. So hope you enjoyed, and keep painting.